That's not precarious at all. This is actually quite comfy. I feel quite cozy. Oh, hi there. Coming to you live from, well, not live, coming to you from Dublin, Ireland. We're in a hotel. We're right in Temple Bar. We're doing the whole touristy thing. It's fabulous. Also, I accidentally booked a really fancy hotel. I just booked it because it was a deal on booking.com. And also, it had breakfast included, which I didn't realize. So I'm really living it up accidentally. It's great though. It's been fabulous. I have woken up this morning with a bit of a sore throat. I've done one night. So I flew in early morning yesterday, Manchester to Dublin, did a whole day exploring, checked in the afternoon, went out. And then today I've got a whole day. I fly at 9:30 tonight. So very doable. Very much only had to pay for one night at this fancy hotel. 2 full days, 1 night of accommodation. I mean, I'll quickly go through what I did because we're here now. Came in, landed 8:30, was in the city by 9:30 on the Dublin Express, if you want to take notes. Then I went for a walk, happened upon Halfpenny Bridge, the bridge. Went to this bagel shop, got a little bagel for breakfast, did a little bit more of a wander, found this main strip. I was like, cool. Then went to Trinity College, had a little wander. Then I had a booking at Guinness Storehouse for the afternoon. That was literally the only thing I booked for this trip, apart from the accommodation and the flights, obviously. And then on the way, went via the Molly Malone statue, which I have some thoughts on, but now's not the time. Then went to the Storehouse. The Storehouse is amazing. I get why people rave about it. That place was insane. So immersive, so artsy, so educational. And a free Guinness at the end. I mean, you're living. Walked back, checked into the hotel, and then this is where I crashed. Because I was running on 3 hours of sleep yesterday, which is probably why I have a sore throat today. Anyway, I overdid it. Crashed, and I timed my meals wrong. So a couple of faux pas, but we move on. Had a nap when I got back. Picked up some food, had a nap, got ready to go out. This is how I messed up the meals because I didn't really have dinner. I had like a dinner. Anyway, I went out through Temple Bar and I just wanted to people watch. I just wanted to see the vibes, get a sense check on what everyone's like here when they visit. A lot of groups, a lot of like gal groups, lads groups, doing their thing, having a crazy weekend, big piss up, that sort of thing. So I loved people watching on the streets. Then I went into the classic Temple Bar pub, the red one, because I wanted to see some live music, have a Guinness, be the stereotype, live the stereotype live. So I did that when I got a Guinness, was in the crowd. It was literally like the tightest mosh pit I've been in for years. Like, that's what mosh pits were like when I started going to concerts. It was crazy in there, but it was great because it was crazy. Live music was beautiful. Everyone was singing along, all the crowd favorites, da-da-da-da-da. Had to chat to some guys from Derby. Had to chat to some ladies from Dublin. It was great. It was fantastic. Then after that, this is where I made another little error because I was like, okay, what next? My mate had sent me this party that was going on, and I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll go to that. And then I got to the point where I was like, I'm actually not feeling 100%, and I'm actually pushing it, and I'm happy with just going to see that live music at Temple Bar. So did a little loop, got some food, came back, and slept for like 8 hours. It's been beautiful. I had the best sleep. Oh my gosh, this bed is beautiful. Love you. I really love what you did here. You know that classic like hotel linen where it's soft and like crisp at the same time and it just flops around you and it's so squishy? That was me. I woke up sideways. Like my legs were over there and my head was over here. I had a great sleep. Anyway, then I went and had my hotel breakfast and I went back. Anyway, wow. I don't know if that was necessary for this because actually what I want to talk about, well, kind of is solo travel, because I kind of forget that solo travel is a thing, right? Like I do it a lot. I love it. I love solo traveling. And it came up a few times in conversations in the lead up to this trip of different people being like, what, you're going to Dublin by yourself? And then even the hotel receptionist was like, you're here by yourself? Oh my gosh, good on you. Well done. Da, da, da. At the breakfast this morning, they were like, just one? And I was like, yeah, it's me, myself, and why? So I forget that it's a thing, but I love it. I've done a lot of solo travel. Someone asked me to list the places, and I feel like I forgot some. From recent times, I've done Barcelona, Milan, Paris, Germany, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Ireland, Dublin. And then I just travel a lot by myself anyway, whether that's within England for work, going to different places in England, or, even going back to New Zealand, I do that by myself. Obviously, once I'm there, I'm with people. But, I just travel a lot by myself. I'm just a loner. I have friends, okay? I do have friends, and I do have family. I don't have a loved one, but we're getting there with that. That's a topic for another day. However, I do love solo travel, and I really recommend that lots of people do it because you really get to know yourself. And it's not because it's like some, live, laugh, love, Pinterest mood board bumper sticker, go travel the world, see everything, la la la. But you just inevitably get to know yourself so well because you're by yourself outside of your normal everyday settings. So you've not got the distractions of everyday life, and you just really get to know yourself. You learn yourself. You understand your thought process. You understand your problem solving approach. You understand what makes you tick, and you understand, your motivations, I think, a bit more. Anyway, that's my vote for solo travel. If you haven't done it, do something. Even if it's local, just do something. I think it's great. And then also you meet people along the way that you may not have if you were with a friend, family, a loved one. And when I say loved one, I guess I mean partner, because I hope you love your friends and family anyway. But you meet people that you may not have if you were with your normal loved humans. That's not a correct sentence. For example, I had the best time in Barcelona one night because I went out to get dinner at a tapas bar, sat down, got chatting to the guy next to me. His friend joined us. The three of us ended up having food together and then going to a different bar for cocktails, and it was a beautiful night. He's from Portugal but lives in Barcelona now. She's from Brazil and was visiting for an expo. And it's just like those three paths, when are they going to cross than at that place? It's just magical. Oh my gosh, I'm going to tell you the story of one of the top 10 days of my life. I don't even know what the other 9 are, but at least this one is definitely in the top 10. So I took myself to Paris last year, and that was a very last minute trip. I was resurfacing after a pretty heavy breakup, which is definitely a story for another episode. That would be a long episode. But I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take myself to Paris. I've always wanted to go to Paris and I've not done it. Why have I not done it? It's time to act. So I booked flights and a package. Okay, I had issues with the accommodation. I actually ended up having to book an Airbnb last minute because I got to the place and I was like, this is not a hotel, this is a hostel, and I feel like I'm in Taken 4, Liam Neeson, come and get me. I need to get out of here. So I ended up booking an Airbnb and then going through the battle of trying to get a refund for that. Anyway, boring. The top 10 day. Okay, sit. Are you sat? Okay, so it started off. Oh, it was beautiful. I would go back to Paris in a heartbeat. Circling back, I would like to go with a loved one, aka a partner, but we'll get there. Because it's just so romantic. Oh, it's so lovely. Okay, anyway, maybe I'll just take myself back there again this year. Okay. I actually wish I went for like 2 weeks and just worked from there. Oh, it was beautiful. The day starts. I walk up the road for about 10-15 minutes and I go to the place that is known for doing the best crookies. Now, pause. I am a super fan of cookies and pastries. All right? That is the way to my heart. Plus coffee. Coffee all the time though. Pastries and cookies are meant to be occasional things. These cookies changed my taste buds forever. Half cookie, half croissant. Absolutely delectable. I sat in that cafe and I thought, I've made it. This is living. People watching. Just like, it was a beautiful day. The sun was shining. I sat on this lovely sofa. I was watching all these people come in and buy their cookies. And it was a shared joy because I was eating what they were about to enjoy. And I was like, just wait until you have your first bite. It was stunning. I went for a walk to Notre Dame. It was a beautiful day, crisp morning, sun is shining. They were, of course, restoring it. So it was all under scaffolding and all of that. But I was like, whoa, that is quite impactful. Went for a walk along the river, saw painters, saw market stalls. Everyone's happy, sharing their art. And then I went down along the river bank, side, walkway, path, what do you call it? I don't know, right down next to the water, and came across a commercial being shot, which was like this model in high fashion, and they were doing the same take over and over again, which I loved because that is right up my alley. I love the production, I love the fashion, I love the behind the scenes, I love the attitude from the model, like everything about it. I was just like, whoa, this is so cool to see. And they had one of those massive cameras on an arm just tracing her as she walked along, and it was just cool. Watched that for a little bit, kept on walking, went to a cafe to get another coffee, ordered it in French, had a whole exchange with someone in French, which was me learning over the last couple of days, couple of phrases off of Google Translate, but it was successful and I got a really good coffee and I was stoked with myself because I was in the bathroom like, yeah, you just did that. Got my coffee, kept walking, went to the train. Then got the train out to Versailles, went to the Palace of Versailles. That was breathtaking. I thought it would impact me a bit more. I love just floating around and zoning out and being like, whoa, look at the opulence. Whoa, look at this place. But I didn't feel much spirit there. But I did kind of just zone out at that point. I was just kind of floating, recorded some videos and did the whole Palace of Versailles audio tour, went outside, walked down to the water, did all of that. Then the day is still going. We get the train back into Paris Central and I go to the Eiffel Tower. Now, day before, I'd already done my Eiffel Tower tour. I did a Get Your Guide tour. We went around the bottom, learned all about it, went up to the top, saw the view. I actually saw a proposal at the top, which is so cliche and wonderful. Also, there's a champagne bar at the top, which I did not know. If I had, I probably would have planned the timings different. Anyway, back to the Eiffel Tower because the day before I'd seen this little boat on the river that had a restaurant and dining outside and you could look up at the Eiffel Tower. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm coming back to that tomorrow. So went back to the Eiffel Tower, did a little loop, went to this boat and I was like, oh, just table for one, anywhere near the deck, any free tables. And they're like, yeah, we can put you here. So I sat with a couple of little bar snacks and some drinks and I just looked up at the Eiffel Tower and it was right there in my face. Massive Eiffel Tower. It was so cool. Crazy. I just sat there on that boat looking up at the Eiffel Tower thinking, I am so lucky. Like, I am so lucky that I can do this. Anyway, the day before that ticket, the Get Your Guide ticket, included the Eiffel Tower and also a boat cruise, which you could use at a different time. So then after sitting there having dinner, looking up at the Eiffel Tower, hello, I went to the boat cruise. And this is when it's like sunset, it's getting dark. Went on this river cruise for an hour. So you go up past all of these amazing buildings on the riverbank. Oh my gosh, is it riverbank, riverside? I don't know. And then came back, and by that point, the Eiffel Tower was twinkling. It was dark. It had all of its lights on, just like this big glittering tower. Oh, it was so cute. And I'm just sitting on the top of this boat with all these other people just like, it was so cool. And then the day keeps going. You would think because I jam-packed this day that you'd actually be exhausted and over it by this point and your feet would be sore, your back would be... No. I was living. So we pull up, get off the boat. It's time for me to walk maybe 10, 20 minutes to Crazy Horse. Now this blew my mind. If you don't know Crazy Horse in Paris, look it up. You know the Beyonce music video for Partition? Filmed there, parts of it. Inspired by that, heavily. Now I go in and everything is beautiful. I'm so excited for the show I'm about to see. I get seated. I am front and center. Front and center. And my ticket included some champagne. So they bring over this little mini bottle of champagne, pour it for me. I'm literally, like, my neck is like this. I'm looking up like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what I'm about to see. Then I'm joined by a lovely hun who comes and sits next to me. We start chatting. She's from Singapore. She's doing a solo trip too. Then another hun comes. She's sat next to us. She's doing a solo trip. She's from Germany. So then we've got the three of us front and center with our champagne, ready to enjoy the show. And this show blew my mind. I was like, I think I was just like, my jaw was on the floor the whole time. I was just like, these ladies are incredible. I want to be like them. Let me move to Paris. I'm obsessed. It was incredible. If you go to Paris, you have to go to Crazy Horse. I can't believe it. Then after that, we were like, oh, should we go for a drink? The hun from Germany was like, I'm going to go home. I've got an early flight. We were like, no worries. Lovely to meet you. And then, so the bartenders and staff at Crazy Horse had been lovely, so friendly, because we were sat there after the show had finished and people had left doing photos and videos because just obsessed with the whole setting. It was beautiful. And they were so lovely. And he was like, oh, have another drink. So he pulled us another champagne and we were like, hee hee, free champagne in Paris at Crazy Horse. And then he was like, oh, all of us staff are going to go across the road to this bar afterwards. That's where we go for after work drinks if you guys want to join. And then we were like, oh, should we? Me and the hun from Singapore were like, do we not? She's like, I'm on the fence, so I'm just going to go home. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. So I went across the road, had this drink, learnt all about Miss Beyonce coming to film her Partition video there. I got some intel. And then went home. And honestly, when I got back to my bed in my little Airbnb in Paris, I was just lying there like, this day from start to finish was everything. It was perfect. I couldn't have wished for a better day. And that's my testimonial for solo travel. But you know what I mean? If I hadn't have just gone, you know what, I'm taking myself to Paris, that day would never have happened. And it's literally one of my favorite days of my life. I probably didn't do it justice in my description because I was going through the chronological aspects rather than really highlighting the joy. But believe me when I say that day gave me so much fulfillment and joy. Like the memories. Love it. So if you're listening to this being like, oh, I don't know if I'd like want to talk to people though, fine, just zone out. Like have your moment by yourself. Just people watch. Like it is interesting. But you do end up talking to people unintentionally anyway. You just got to embrace the random. Don't force it, like don't force yourself to talk to people. Don't force yourself to do things you don't want to do. That is the whole joy of being solo, is you literally choose your day. You do what you want to do. Full stop. But don't force it, because then you probably will not enjoy it. Or you'll probably try and make it something that you think it should be rather than what it is. Just roll with it. Having these connections is also just so fulfilling and magical to me. Like I love that because, you connect on Instagram when you meet people, I think just by default. But just knowing that we're connected on Instagram, someone from Brazil, someone from Germany, someone from Singapore, and everyone says, if you're ever in Singapore, message me. If you're ever in Brazil, message me. And you'd have a great time. Like I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. But I just think it's so magical, like there's people all over the world that I'm now connected to. Oh my gosh, am I getting emotional? Sorry, let's just take a moment. Get it together. I've got makeup on, I can't get emotional. When I moved from New Zealand to the UK, I sat with my mum and I remember this conversation. We were on the sofa at home and she was like, so what is it? Like, what is your why for going? And I was like, I literally don't know how to describe it other than I just want to breathe the air on the other side of the world. I have no big lofty goal. Obviously, I was going through a career change. Well, not obviously. I was going through a career change. So that was a massive part of it. But the motivation was to just be there, to just be, to just experience, to just see what happens, to just go and do something different. Because the lead up to that change, I had been so slotted, so routined, so the realization I had was, oh my gosh, is this going to be my year for the rest of my life? The same year over and over and over and over again for the next 40 years. And that scared me so much. And I just wanted something new, something different, with no pressure on it, just to see what it was. Then me and my friend went and traveled Italy, Greece, and Croatia. And oh my gosh, that was fantastic. That was beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love Italy. Oh, anyway, the point being, don't put pressure on it. Embrace the random and just go and experience by yourself and see what you learn or what experiences you gain, what people you meet. If you don't meet people, fine. What other joy did you find from it? Plus, I think it builds a lot of pride in self, ownership of self, self-trust. You know you can depend on yourself and you'll figure it out and you've got your back, you know? And you might already be an independent person, fine. But you just really hone in on that element of, I trust myself to figure it out, which then filters onto other areas of your life. You know, with career, I trust myself to figure it out. If something goes wrong, I know I've got my own back. I've done it before, I can do it again. That reassurance that it's okay. Like if you're stripped back to just being you without all of your belongings, without all of your normal surroundings, without all of your bubble around you in another country by yourself, you've got everything within you to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And you can do it and you will do it. I think that ultimately is what solo travel adds to your life. Like, who are you without all of the noise? Now that I say that out loud, it's funny because things happen in my life and it's kind of just like comical because it's like, oh my gosh, how does this happen? But it doesn't really faze me. Like, so many random things happen in my life and I'm just like, because in the scheme of things, I'm like, I'll work it out, you know? Like, I might be down about something. I might be like laughing because if I don't, I'll cry. But at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, well, you know, like it's happened now, or like worse things have happened. You know, that whole perspective of what are you going to do about it? Like, what's the next step? Like, I'm always focusing on the next step or the solution or the way forward because I'm like, there's literally no point sitting here mulling on it. Like, let's just keep it moving, which I also think has come from a lot of these experiences. I'm just generally doing stuff by myself. Like I said in the beginning, like traveling around England a lot for work. You know what I mean? Like, I think you just really get into a zone of don't sweat the small stuff. You have some perspective on life. You've seen life from different angles. All of that. Now that I'm talking about all of this, it makes me want to book more trips this year. I want to go to Dubai next. Dubai is top of the list. I will get to Dubai this year. All right, in saying that, let's go explore more of Dublin. I'm going to go to the castle, Anne Street, the arcade, George Arcade, and get a bit lost, I think. I've got 7 hours, so we got time. Anyway, solo travel is great. Do something for yourself this year and just let it be. Don't force it. Don't have an agenda. Do something you want to do, not what you think you should do, what social media has told you you should go and do, just something that piques your interest somewhere. Just go and do it without an agenda, without pressure. Just go and see how it feels. Oh my gosh, that kind of sounds like I'm saying go off grid. You don't have to go off grid, but just go by yourself. Editing this is going to be interesting. Anyway. Love you lots. Ireland. We're in Dublin, like, was that good?